Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Two Meets One podcast. I'm your host, Handsome Banna, along with my co-host, Highoctober, and this is our first episode, technically, apart from episode 0. And today we are joined by BadassDonny.
Yo, what's up?
The
Should we do this old
homie.
classic? Should we go this like old fashioned and be like, what is going on? Badasses
Do
around
it.
the
Do
globe.
the intro,
It is
Donnie. Do
Badass
the
Donnie.
intro.
Do the intro.
Oh, you got it. So we'll start off from fresh here. What is going on, badasses around the world? It is BadassDonny. Back at it again. It's been a few years.
Let's go, dude.
It's the first time Donnie's been on the internet since my Black Ops 3 video from Shangri-La Easter egg.
Yeah, it's
True.
been a while.
How you been, Donnie? How's life?
Life is, well, I guess you could say life. Takes you in many different directions, you know? Best thing you could do, move forward.
All right, so tell us about yourself
Good
right now. Like, what's eventful in your life? Like, are you in school or like what are you doing?
School is still not an option right now, but we're looking at it in the near future. Near future as in like, well, at least my near future is probably like 5 years from now. Oh, dear Lord. But yeah, no, that's going to be on the route.
Alrighty, I want to take a guess here of guessing how old you are. All right, I want to take a hot guess. All right.
I guess, eh?
So, my guess is 22. 23.
Ah, spot on.
Was it 22?
Nice.
You got her.
Alrighty, that's
Born in
awesome.
1999.
Oh, really? That's the same year as my sister.
99? Damn.
Oh, yeah.
Bro,
banger.
90s kid.
90s kid confirmed.
Let's be real, though. I don't belong in any subgroup. Nobody takes a 1999 boy like me.
That's fair.
Yeah, okay, that's actually kind
2000s are like, no, we don't want any of that. Then the 90s are like, hey, get the fuck out of here.
of.
Alrighty. Well, thank you for coming on, by the way, Donnie. This whole episode was literally
Yeah.
scheduled in base to have you on here. We were literally waiting for the best time to have you on because
Dude,
we
we
wanted
were
you to be the
waiting.
first
we,
guest.
we were waiting for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's about right. Work got you like that.
Yeah, it's been a little bit of mountain climbing there. I don't know, a little bit of hiking.
Can I say that as a Rocky Mountain climbing? Yes.
No one laughed.
Bring up the whole squad laughing.
Damn, man.
It was an attempt.
Alrighty, so I just want to start off by saying the reason I specifically wanted you on for the first episode, Donnie, because I think you're probably one of the, I don't want to say one of the first people on YouTube that I've met, because I've met other people throughout the years, but you're the only one that's actually stuck around. You know,
Try to
we
be
always have
consistent.
communication still, and we're good, and we actually still play games once in a while. Like, it's like, we have like a good friendship, I would say, give or take.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're not like unknown from my channel, you're like familiar, and a lot of my
Exactly.
friends know of you, and I've played with you like
Oh.
on Among Us. I don't know what
Exactly.
Jason has though, but that was my reason.
No, the first time I met Donnie was, I think, either a couple days before we filmed the Shang Easter egg, or the Shang Easter egg.
I can't remember.
I
Let's
think.
go back. Cause did you ever play Gmod with us?
No, I didn't have a PC.
Oh yeah,
back then.
Jason
Oh.
wasn't there. I forgot about those
Oh,
days,
yeah.
Donnie.
Yeah, remember the Kekleon days. Oh, those were the good days, though. Holy.
No, yeah, I didn't have a PC back then.
Yeah, I
what
remember. Yeah. Oh, the classic days. Donnie will. I think we used to play. I think Gmod, Death Run, and Prop Hunt.
Yeah.
I think with Josh.
Yeah.
Josh, Braden, and then Mr. Bacon.
Yeah,
And
that was. I think we did the Bikini Bottom one, if I remember.
Yeah, we
correctly.
did. I think we recorded that, but I don't know if anyone uploaded that because there's a giant SpongeBob dick.
Yeah, no, there wasn't only that, but if I remember, there was a lot of glitches in that one too.
Yeah, I would love to bring back Gmod one day. That would be so fun.
Oh, definitely. Gmod would be awesome.
I'm down to record Gmod.
It's also fairly cheap for such a great game.
Oh, no doubt.
Like 10
Although
bucks.
the
$10.
add-ons can sometimes be annoying to add on, but for the most part, they're not too bad.
Yeah, comment down below of the podcast. Let us know.
Well, yeah.
To our
You want
3
us to do
subscribers.
Gmod.
Maybe
Yeah.
4 if Donnie
Speaking of
subscribes. Maybe
Oh,
4.
definitely.
So it's just us 3. Let's go.
Let's go.
So we'll let ourselves know.
Maybe 4. But yeah,
Alright.
no, speaking of which, sub to this guy, like his videos, do all that kind of stuff. Like,
Fuck
I mean,
yeah.
if you want to go
Hashtag
into
ad.
like famous thing, only like 99% of you aren't subscribed. Like,
It's
what the hell's
true.
with that?
Alrighty. So I wrote down a few notes of you, Donnie, since I've known you for a while. I've probably missed some things. But one of the first things I did want to talk about is why you started YouTube in the first place. Like what were you doing? What motivated you, and what was your content based on?
So, actually, fun fact: I started watching YouTube around the time when Mr. T Lexify and the Smiths plays started kind of doing their things. I think it was roughly around I want to say around 50,000 to about 100,000 subscribers for the Smith plays. And personally, I just liked his form of content. Like that was around the time when he was doing like his top fives and
Top
everything.
5 couches.
And yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, top five couches, OGs. But yeah, no. So I started watching his stuff. I actually really enjoyed his stuff. He was more of like a inspiration for that kind of stuff. So I decided to start doing my own top fives and stuff like that. And I just had a whole list of a bunch of different options to do, and that's where I started get going. And then slowly started to branch out into other stuff. Like I started wanting to do like more challenges. Heck, I started doing a little bit of Pokemon for a little bit, although I never did complete the series. I do want to bring that back. I might erase what's currently going and just do a fresh one because it has been a few years. But also, he also does a little bit of my own taste stuff, is playing Legend of Zelda, which has been more of my thing.
Alrighty.
Me and my homies love Zelda.
They have some good stuff. Although, to all the haters out there, Breath of the Wild's not bad. It's yeah.
Game of the year.
Wait, what? Breath of the Wild's a great game.
It's okay. It has some good features, but I feel like the shrine system is boring.
Fair.
Alrighty. So Donnie, if I remember correctly, you used to upload YouTube videos in your high school, correct?
Yeah.
Is that how it was?
So that was a really weird situation for me. So I used to publish in a bunch of different places. So when I first lived in my first town that I was in when I met you, I used to obviously make some of it at home, but my internet was non-existent, so I had to take the files to my school and upload them there. That was how it was for a few years until I moved to another town, and internet still non-existent there. So I had to take the videos that I put together, and I actually went to a library that was like a block away from me just to upload them.
Oh my god. How long would it take?
Funny enough, my files weren't so bad because obviously back in the days, files weren't exactly like my
They were smaller.
quality was. It wasn't too bad. Plus,
They
I
weren't
usually
like
kept them in
4K or anything.
exactly, and they were roughly around I think 10-minute videos, so they weren't anything super crazy at the time. So usually it would take maybe like half an hour to upload it, which isn't usually too bad. And honestly, that time would go pretty fast because I would usually actually do the thumbnails at the library or the school instead, which made it a lot more convenient for my time.
Yeah. Alrighty. So,
Oh yeah,
seems like a little bit of a journey there for your YouTube videos.
fuck, you know her.
I remember, I think this might be wrong, but didn't you have some sort of like Hapog device or something like that to record your PS3, but it wasn't HD? You used the component cables or something?
So I used to have a thing called the Roxio capture card. It was
Ah.
something that essentially I had to get 3 separate pieces just to connect to my PS3 when I had it. So I had obviously I had to get some component cables for it. Plus I had to get the special piece that you had. It's something that usually goes in the back of printers. I'm not a huge techie, so I can't remember what the cord was called. But yeah, I had to get 3 different pieces just to get the thing to work. And even then, it was really sketchy with my PC at the time. So there was times where I had to use my parents' PC because, funny enough, they actually had, although a lot of their components were worse than mine, for some reason their graphics card was a lot better than mine. So I had to do it that way sometimes, and it was kind of hilarious.
So whatever happened to the original BadassDonny YouTube channel?
Oh yeah, I'd like to know too.
Oh yeah, so that was a really weird one. That was when I was first getting into it. It was more of a weird case scenario of like, and I think you might have been one of the few people that I actually met through that process of the sub for sub system.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, that's not the most efficient way of gaining subscribers. Obviously, I took that, I deleted everything on that because it just didn't feel authentic enough. So I kind of want to give it a fresh start, do something that's more my way, and have it slowly build the more professional way where people find your channel through links, stuff like that, or you collaborate with other people and they find you links to that way, and kind of do it the more fair way. Because I felt like that would have been a lot more better of a story to start.
That's fair.
Because sub for sub is kind of sketchy in its own way, especially with the new system that YouTube has, where sometimes it will automatically just unsubscribe people. My guess is that's from inactivity. So the sub for sub system definitely would not have worked any more better now than it did back then.
Yeah, like I remember doing sub for sub because I know me and Ara, or I don't know if you know him, Donnie, but his name was Fruitless Bow.
Oh, I remember that guy. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I think we may play Gmod with them, like occasional time.
I think so.
Yeah,
sounds familiar.
we used to be like on a competition to like who could get more subs. I remember I was up for like 4 hours, like past my bedtime. I was probably in grade 8, so I was probably like 14 or something, give or take. And I was just up all night, literally on Twitter, asking people for sub, and I got like maybe 40 subscribers that night. And I felt so proud of myself, even though they probably never watched a single video after they subscribed, because they probably used a dummy account.
Oh, exactly. And that's the big thing, too, is like, although they're dummy accounts, they're still technically help towards your sub count. But in the end, I feel like it's better to get a more loyal subscriber view count and have somebody that's actually going to at least attempt to watch your stuff. Like, for example, we're friends. I occasionally watch your stuff, and that's better than having somebody you met on there and just be like, hey, you want a sub? Sure. And then never hear from them again. They just fall off the face of the earth.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, I find it so... It's odd, and I want to say it's, like, kind of mean, because it's kind of not, but, like, you expect maybe some people to actually maybe leave a comment or even watch it or something.
Well, exactly, and that's the thing. Like, usually if you leave, because as Majai Bread says, he's a YouTuber I watch for Pokemon, like, Pokemon challenges, things like that. He plays a bunch of other miscellaneous games. But always leave a comment, because it's good for the YouTube algorithm.
That's true. I'm pretty sure that is facts that it helps, I don't know how, but it just works.
Oh, definitely.
Like, the other... I think it was like last week. I was thinking about downloading all my YouTube videos and just purging my account. Like, just completely terminating it and restarting it from scratch and re-upload the ones that I want. Because, I think it's similar to the scenario that you just described with sub for sub. But, I have that James Charles video and that, the COD's on his perk jingle video. Those two videos get mad views. The James Charles one, I think, peaked at 1.2 million views. And then the Zombies one was like almost 180,000 within like 8 months or something like that. And what I did, or what I realized with time, it's like, oh, awesome, I'm getting all these subscribers. But then you realize none of them actually watch anything. Like, I might have like 2.2k subs, but like, I don't even crack near 50 views a video. It's it's like you're growing, but you're not. You're growing, but you're dying. Like, it's not motivating. It's really demotivating in a lot of ways. Which I don't know if you've noticed, Jason, or anything, but I actually deleted those videos off my channel. They're gone.
You deleted them?
I deleted them. I actually have a YouTube video on my computer of me deleting them for proof in the future if anyone tries to be like, nah, you didn't. You're lying. I purged them, and then those videos, and then I lost about, I think, you need about 400 hours of watch time to get monetization, and I knocked it out of the park. Those two videos were watched so much, that monetization, step was just really easy. Once I deleted them, it locked me out of the program saying I didn't have the views anymore. I'm like, damn.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, for me, that's, I've been sitting around the average of, I think 18 or 19 subscribers for the past 4 years now, 4 or 3 years. And I think my most viewed video, and it's something that I think I got the most publicity for, off of something that wasn't a zombies or a Pokemon game, was the actual My Rip E-Double video, which was, a small tribute to E-Double.
I remember that. Didn't they get disliked? Yeah.
I think it was a couple of them, but there wasn't a huge amount. Well, to be honest, there wasn't a huge amount of likes or dislikes, so it was not very bad for the feedback. But for the big thing too is I actually got to talk to the guy for a couple of minute or so before, because we were discussing copyright stuff, and I actually got to talk to the guy for a little bit before he actually passed away. And
rest in
no,
peace.
it was a true honor to be able to talk with him for that. So it was
E-Double's
pretty
a
cool.
legend.
He is
Absolute
like
legend.
he has amazing music. He's one of the like I'm generally not a person that likes listening to rap
Yeah,
and hip hop and that kind of stuff,
Same
but
boat.
I generally think that his content is unique enough and it just has such a good beat that I actually generally like his music. I still listen to it this day.
Yeah, I have a few songs that I don't. They're not like in my playlist or anything, but if I ever see them in my feed, I usually listen to them. Like I like "Be a King." That's a classic one.
Oh, definitely. I've been branching out the past couple of years over a bunch of his other songs from his Freestyle Friday
Oh
days,
yeah.
and yeah, no, there was a lot of good bangers in there.
Oh yeah. He's like a hidden gem, to be honest.
Oh, exactly. He was, and the big thing is that I'm kind of sad that I didn't hear about him till when he actually was on Vanos. Because I don't know if you remember back, I think it was 5 or 6 years ago, his montage videos, his shotgun montages.
Yeah. I get like
Those
his
were the
oldest
days.
video on his channel that he still has up is a shotgun montage.
Yeah.
Something like
Those
that.
were the days. I remember from those days, and those were some pretty good stuff.
Oh yeah, I fully agree. It's amazing. So
But yeah, no,
yeah, like
it's kind of sad to see that the Vanos crew isn't the way they used to be.
Pathfilm or
But this,
pedophiles.
yeah, they're kind of in a really fucky state right now. Like
Mini
it's
Lad,
so
ugh.
messed up. Yeah, Mini Lad's got his own things. You obviously have Ohm Record doing his own shit now. They got a little bit of Terrorizer and Dahi Denogla doing their own things now. Like they're kind of split out. Like it feels like the group kind of split in their own paths in a way. Like because I was watching some videos recently with Smitty. And
Oh yeah, me too.
Yeah, he hasn't been around lately with the Vanos crew. He's been stuck more with like Grizzy and all of them.
Yeah, I've noticed
And,
that. I've been
Buffer.
watching his Mario Party videos.
Yeah. Yo, yeah, definitely. Mario Party's been pretty good, especially the new one that they released. That was actually looks like a lot of fun.
Hey Donnie,
Kinda-
I have a question
up?
for you. Alrighty. This would be like I have multiple more questions I want to ask you, but I'm gonna let Jason ask his if he has any after this one.
Yeah.
It was a hot take at the time, but how come Shadows of Evil is the worst map? From a YouTube video years ago that got dislike bombed, why is Shadows of Evil the worst map?
That video has not aged well. So I can tell you right now, looking back on it, the map, yes, did have its problem in its own right. It felt very different from a lot of the previous zombies experiences. Like the closest that can resemble it is Mob of the Dead, but at the same time, it's Mob of the Dead still maintained a lot of that zombie theme. But looking back on it now, Black Ops 3 and playing a lot of Black Ops 4 and Vanguard and Cold War zombies, like I don't think it was actually bad. It was actually a lot of fun. Like I think it's probably the one of the rounds where I think it's the closest I got to round 100. I think I got to round like I want to say 91.
Wow.
I believe on that. It's not obviously when you take that in comparison, a lot of people are doing more high speed runs these days.
Yeah.
So it's not as impressive. But I think that's the one map, besides obviously Dries and Drac, where I got to a high enough round where I was proud. Because I basically, what I did was I trained where you put the shield is. I believe that was in the Riverside. I can't remember what the river. I think it's like the River District or something like that.
I have no idea.
The canal. I think it's. I'm trying to remember because it's been a few months since I played it. I think it's like the canals or something like that. But yeah, I basically trained where you put the shield, and I used the Wonder Weapon and obviously Dead Wire.
Yeah, just
and
canals.
yeah, no, it was a pretty fun experience. I got to round 91. Only reason I had to do it is because it was getting late. I had to go to bed. It was obviously I was still a kid at that time.
Okay.
But yeah, no, it's definitely looking back on it now. It's definitely a lot more fun and a lot more of a unique map compared to a lot of what we got in the past. But that wasn't necessarily a bad thing. It was actually a really refreshing take on it.
Yeah, do you think you made that YouTube video because you played Shadows of Evil on last gen first? Is that why?
That might be part of it. That might be part of it. But also because I actually just found that a lot of the steps for a lot of like the swords and stuff, I found that to be very tedious at the time. So that might have been part of the reason. But now after playing a lot of other maps that are just as much tedious now, I personally look back on that and it's not as bad as what I thought it was.
Last gen, do you think? I feel like that's like the reason why you made that video. Because
at this point, I loved last gen. Black Ops 3. I
I
feel
do
like at this
too.
point my logo should be Last Gen Richtofen.
In like the blue diamond for like BAD, it's like Richtofen's face faintly in the back from last
Oh
gen.
god. That would be whack.
I just remember you making that video, and I just remember seeing the dislikes, and I was like,
Oh, yeah.
my
A lot
lord.
of people. That's the same thing though, and I feel like I'd get a lot of crap for that today because I like. Obviously, I still don't think Black Ops 3 Last Gen was that bad. It missed a lot of content, but
I
it
don't
still
know
had that
about
zombies
that.
feel to it. Quality kind of sucked, obviously, but I mean, it's Last Gen. What do you expect? But
Better.
my big reason why I say I probably get the same flack for it is because out of the field people, and I can point out to the people, Vanguard is not as bad as what
It's
people say
horrible.
it is.
The multiplayer's fine, but the campaign in zombies is awful, dude.
Campaign wasn't bad. Campaign wasn't bad. It wasn't good, but it wasn't bad. As for zombies, I personally don't mind it. Zombies, yes, it was buggy. That's my only problem I had with it when it released. Now that they've had patches to fix it, it's not nearly as bad. People say it lacks replayability, but I digress.
It does.
I
I don't know, man.
digress.
I'm not paying full price for that game.
Yeah, I'm waiting for a sale to buy that.
I'm
I
waiting for the
digress.
Christmas deal, dude.
I digress on that. Same could be said about like Noct and all the World at War maps. Like they are basically more bare bones and they're on Fong.
But at least they're
I would still
unique.
play.
They're unique and like they're
Yeah, so is
wonder
Duran Fong
weapons
in its
the
own
game.
ways. Yes, it's got a couple of areas that you can go back for nostalgia. You obviously have your what do you call it? The Shinonuma spawn room and all that area. Plus, I personally find that it's cool that we have another map that's based around Stalingrad.
That's fair. Like
I
think
find that's cool.
Kirby.
I think if you don't play
There is.
multiplayer, the zombies mode's tolerable.
Yeah.
But like at the same time, Duran Fang is probably the worst zombies map of all time. It's gotta be worse than Transit. It has to be in Dire Eyes because it's there's 3 objectives when the game came out. There's 3 maps and 3 objectives, meaning that you'll be repeating the same objective on the 4th round.
I'm not gonna lie. If we're talking Treyarch zombies, it might be in the top 5 worst ones. I would say it's the last, like the most worst one. But out of all like zombies, if we're talking like Advanced Warfare, Infinite Warfare, and everything, I definitely would probably put a few of those like Burger Town, definitely. Definitely lower than Duran Fong. But for the most part, I would say probably the worst zombies map that I've had the worst experience with. I would most likely put it on the tie between maybe I would say maybe Call of the Dead.
Ooh, dude, Call of the Dirty.
And maybe Shangri-La, because I personally just don't like games that are that too tight corner. That's why 5 is one of those weird ones, but at least it's trainable. Shangri-La, on the other hand, if you don't have the Wonder Weapon, and the same could be said about Call of the Dead, they're generally a really hard map, and I find that it's very rough to play those for the long period of time.
Doesn't even have a Wonder Weapon.
It does not, but at the same time, like, I personally like it for the simplicity sake. It takes over the Cold War formula in a sense and expands on it a little bit more. So I think that's fine, but at the same time, like, I would probably put Shang probably as my Treyarch zombie, or else Call the Dead maybe in the lower ones. I think Tog is all right. Sure, it's buggy with obviously you see the Thunder Gun glitches and such, but I find that Tog is definitely a bit something that it was a nice expansion on Call of the Dead, and it makes higher round attempts a lot more possible. Because I was actually recently watching a Codename Pizza video recently about how the highest round on Call of the Dead is only round 92. It's one of the only maps in Treyarch history that hasn't been able to do around 100.
Yeah, it's like the lowest percentage of all time. You gotta have dream luck to do it.
And the big thing is too is that it's not even the fact that it's like a very hard map to get round 100. It's just because of how buggy Black Ops 1 is compared to a lot of the other maps. Because the game just crashes after, I think, what was it, 77 hours?
It's after 77. Yeah, it's after a certain time amount in the game, and on top of that, it's the drops.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So drops are a big thing.
Bad, and the Wonder Weapon 2 shots, like you don't have the ammo, which is the reason why it's impossible.
Not to mention there's no boss rounds, so you get no max ammos or anything, no traps. There's also like the box rolls later round start bugging the game and increase the risk of your game crashing. Like,
Yeah, I don't know.
I personally just didn't like to. I like the theme of Call of the Dead. I think it's a fun map if you're not going for high round attempts. But if we're talking high round attempts and replayability, they're just not the same thing. And I find that Call of the Dead is just a map that I don't see myself playing a lot of. Like with Nocturne Totem, although it's such bare bone, there's a strategy that can get you to pretty high rounds, and it's overall a reattemptable a bunch of times. Oh yeah, flamethrower, double barrel shotgun, stuff like that. Yeah, no, it's overall a fun experience, I find. But with Call of the Dead, it's just that when you know that's impossible to get to that point, it just kind of kills the high round attempt thing. And then yeah, it's not really a map that I'm too huge on.
Alright, Donnie. I know, Jason, you probably don't know this, but you want to know what's a crazy feature coming into Vanguard in 2022? You'll never guess it. They're adding pausing in solo for zombies in 2022. Oh my god! Like this a feature that's been in the game since World at War is being added. Not even the same year it's the game releasing. Imagine this whole unfinished Jordan Fang is not ready. It's bad. It's bad. I can't pause the game in a solo game. If you have to go to the bathroom, you gotta stand still and hope you don't get killed.
I mean that's not half bad since like half the time the zombies don't even respond to you.
I do want to give it a shot, but I'm not paying for that game. No shot. Oh god.
I mean, by the time it comes out, because a lot of people, and I find that the zombies community has become a very well, I wouldn't say specifically the zombies community, but like people that play zombies have become too spoiled at the point where it's like they expect like 15 maps, the same thing. You can obviously probably thank Zombies Chronicles for that. That was near the end of the game.
You can blame Zombie Chronicles and BO4 for that.
Yeah, but exactly. But at the same time, it's like people are like, oh, okay, there's only one map on release. Everybody starts getting bored of it, and then they start bitching at Treyarch and Activision on that, and it's like the game's only been out for a month, and people are complaining about that, and it's like, bruh. It's going to be like another month or two until they get a new DLC. You're just going to have to chill it. That's how the cycles have always been. So, like, you look back on the DLCs in, like, Black Ops 1, for example, or Black Ops 2. There essentially was always, like, a 2 to 3 months. There was only 4 DLCs originally ever in every release of, like, Black Ops 1, World at War, stuff like that. The only exception is when Black Ops 3 came around with Zombies Chronicle.
Yeah, I got a 5th DLC. It also got a 6th DLC. Do you know that? On PS4, if you pre-ordered BO4 digitally on the PS4, you got 3 multiplayer remastered maps for multiplayer. It has a 6th DLC, but once the game came out, it's impossible to get those maps. It's like a limited edition, and you'll never be able to find a lobby in those maps because no one can get them anymore.
Oh, exactly. And the best way to probably get those these days is if you can find a PS4 that probably has it.
Yeah.
Which, let's be real, a lot of people are not going to part with that.
Yeah. So, Jason, do you have anything you want to say? We've been talking for a while, and you've been kind of quiet, so you got anything?
I didn't really write down any questions. The only thing I can think of is, Donnie, what's your favorite zombies map?
That is a good question.
It is.
And I'm going to be one of those guys, but it's personally more, I play zombies more at this point for nostalgia.
Oh my god, Kino. It's going to be Kino.
Please it's definitely Kino. It is Kino.
Oh yes, my god! You gotta be kidding me.
The thing is, I play as zombies mainly for the replayability, but rather the nostalgia. So when it comes down to it, that's why I personally enjoy the World at War maps. That's why I enjoy the Black Ops 1. Black Ops 2 has some pretty stellar maps. Origins, Mob of the Dead. Obviously, the rest of them are kind of meh. Buried's in that middle ground, I find, for me.
Buried's like A tier.
But for me, I find that Black Ops 3 had some pretty decent maps. I definitely would rank some of them maybe higher for just purposes of them being just fun and overall easy to play. Like Der Eisendrache is a fun map to play because of the bows and such.
That game with the PPSH.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, Garad Krovi is a weird one. I don't dislike the map, but I don't hate it.
Yeah,
I don't like it. I think it's more of a saltiness towards it because it's the one map where I actually can't beat the Easter egg for some reason.
It's hard. It's a hard map. Like Easter egg is difficult. It is really difficult.
It wasn't bad. I'm more salty because I've gone to the boss fights like 2 or 3 times, but for some weird reason my game glitches out, and it's not like huge glitches, but it's just like for some reason it doesn't crash. No, it's just that I will low-key be like I'll have quick revive, I'll have like jug, I'll have everything, and I'll have the shield. But for some reason, I get one-shotted by freaking Nikolai stuff, and I'm not even in range of the stuff.
Why
Like,
don't
I'm
you
constantly
use
moving.
near-death experience? You literally cannot die, and your
I
game
could.
cannot end.
I've been trying to use that, but the problem is because there's a bunch of other gobblegums that are also useful in the map. For example, in plain sight is used to kill Nikolai really fast.
Yeah,
I
I
don't know if you've watched
guess,
that.
but like if you had near-death experience, you literally keep your perks if you die, and it will revive you. You will keep
Weirdly
quick
enough,
revive if you die with
I
it.
if I had it, I don't think I have it though. Weirdly enough,
I
it's
remember
one of the
the Smith placement for the world record for the most downs on Moon because he left his live stream on, had near-death experience, and stayed on Area 51 for like 12 hours. He literally went to bed and came back pretty much, and the game was still going. He was just constantly dying because he had that one gobblegum.
Yeah, no, it's definitely. I don't own the gum, so it was pretty hard. I was basically going on Perkaholic and a bunch of other things.
That's fair.
But yeah, no, it's definitely one of those maps where it's difficult, and I enjoy the game. I enjoy it for its difficulty and for the like fan service that it gave. But at the same time, the boss fight is just the one thing that kills it for me because I always somehow go down on the weirdest glitches. Like I'll be running around the boss arena, and I won't even be hit by his weapon, and somehow like I'll go down for some weird reason. It's like, what the actual hell just happened?
Some weird
Like,
stuff.
yeah, no, because I was on a rampage. I think it was like a few months ago. I started doing all the Black Ops 3 the Easter eggs, but I was stuck on Garad Krovi for like legit, I think like 2 or 3 weeks, and it just got to the point where I was like, you know what? I need a break. Let's put this down. We'll do this another day. I still haven't gotten it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Kino has definitely got to be my top map, mainly because of the
Jesus
status.
Lord,
Like,
I can't
Let's
believe
go,
that.
dude.
I can't believe
Yeah.
that.
Let's
the
fucking go.
reason I do say that is because obviously I'm into World War II kind of things. It's more of my thing, what I'm interested in, rather because of history and stuff like that. But also because of the fact that the high round attempts are something that I always did as a kid, and it's something that I always attempted to improve upon every time I played. Because I remember first starting playing the game, I didn't get to past round 15, 10. I was that's when I started playing zombies. Kino was my first map. Then it got to the point where I understood the strategies with the thunder gun and the bow. I can't remember what it was, pack punch, because it's been a few months since I last played.
I know what you're talking about. It's like the monkey bomb crossbow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so that's basically I would use that. I would basically round up the zombies at the front of the stage, and then if I ever got into a tight corner, I'd obviously use the bow to do that, and then I would just basically do that for the whole time. And I think up to that point, I think I got to around roughly 60 or 70 on Black Ops 1, which I think is one of my higher attempts in terms of zombies. But that's also because I spent years like refining it on my own. I never watched any videos on tutorials or strategies on Kino. I never watched to see how other people were doing it. It's just something I kind of discovered on my own.
Alrighty, so I do have I think a few things I can mention. One of the things I have on here is the Badass podcast. Wasn't it originally called A Pretty Fly for a Badass? Was that what it was called?
I
Or was
think
the
that
nickname?
was the original nickname for it, Pretty Fly. I don't know how I came up for that. That was just something I had back from like the days.
It was like something from a
But-
book.
Yeah, I think it might have been because at the time it was more of a family thing that my family used to listen to a lot of Eminem around that time, and it kind of just overlapped with Eminem's "Pretty Fly for a White Guy."
Oh,
And it just, like,
I see.
So it kind of overlapped, and I was like, you know what? That sounds kind of catchy. Let's give that a go. But after growing up and after I changed it to Badass Podcast, I just realized how cringy it was, and I was like, let's not do that.
Is it ever
So
going
I
to
found-
return?
The Pretty Fly for a Badass, I might reference it, but I don't think that will be coming back. However, the Badass Podcast is something I've been looking to get back into doing at some point once I get a better computer and everything, because of the fact that that was one of the few podcasts where I genuinely actually had a fun making them, because it was a lot of like just personal experiences, lives, kind of things, stories, that kind of stuff. Plus, fun fact, that was actually the podcast that I was actually able to meet and talk with Dave the Rave and
I
with
remember
2 Pro
that.
For You Games, or Adam.
Are they still around?
They don't post that much anymore, or at least 2 Pro For You hasn't posted for a while. I don't know what's going on with him. However, I do follow Dave the Rave on Twitter, and he does look like he's trying to make a comeback and slowly bring his channel back up, which is nice. Because the guy, if I remember correctly, he actually took a break from YouTube to begin with, if I remember correctly, because he was going through some health problems. But now that he's still sounds like he's doing a lot better, he's recovering. His diet has become a lot more refined and a lot more healthier, so he's been recovering slowly. So he's been, by the looks of it, he's been slowly trying to get back into the YouTube game, and I'm actually really interested to see where that goes for him.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely one of those things where it's one of my most achieved moments. One thing that I'm the most proud of.
I remember that. I was like that. Like I remember, I was like kind of jealous. I'm like, damn, you got to talk to these like YouTubers because they were like they're irrelevant kind of now. They're pretty irrelevant, but at the time they were quite popular. I would say they probably were bigger than Lex at the time.
Exactly. Well, exactly, and I almost—that's the fun fact too—is I almost got into a podcast with Lex as well.
Wait, really?
It's true. I remember it. Yeah.
I almost got into a podcast. Obviously, I wasn't able to because things didn't line up, first of all. And B, I think it's just mainly because he had other things going for him. Because that was roughly around the time when he started getting popular. So, I think I actually, if I look back on it, I think I might still have the tweet. But, it's crazy to believe that I was just inches away from actually being in a podcast with Mr. Kilexi.
Yeah, I remember that.
That's
I think
crazy.
you also said. I think you also told me that like his Skype got hacked or something, didn't you?
I think it might have been something along the lines. It's been a few years now, so I can't quite remember what the reason was. But it might have been something like that.
Yeah, I just remember you telling me that. I remember. I know that I was on your podcast at one point, like probably years ago. I don't know how long ago it was. It was.
I mean, look, I actually have it up. You were on episode number 7.
Yeah, I think you re-uploaded that one. I think it was one of those videos you re-uploaded on the newer channel when you deleted the old one.
Yeah, I uploaded this one, and funny enough, I actually labeled it DLC 5 Talks. I think it's roughly around when the Zombie Chronicles came into play.
Was that
but
when it was leaked?
No, I think I see gameplay, so I think that's when it was released.
Ah, okay, I see.
But yeah, I had that out, and funny enough, it was co-host with you, and it was another. I believe this was also another Eminem reference at the time, but I also put it with Mom's Spaghetti.
Mom's Spaghetti, yeah, I remember that. I remember the Mom's Spaghetti joke, or something like that. Damn, that was such a long time ago.
Yeah, I'm looking at a lot of the podcast titles, and I remember them very vaguely. Like, I remember the mosquito killing podcast. I think I spent like a good few minutes in that podcast. Loki just trying to kill a mosquito.
Yeah, I just remember like those little things. I also remember I used to send you gameplay as well.
Oh yeah, I think that's originally how we started get going and how we actually started making. Because I think we originally were like a sub for sub thing.
Yeah.
But slowly we started talking and communicating. You decided to help me with the gameplay and stuff. Yeah. And that's when we started really connecting as kind of like a friend kind of thing. Yeah. And then slowly after time, we started obviously getting into each other's content and we were kind of collaborating.
Yeah.
And that's when things started going. So, I mean, I guess sub for subs aren't always bad. You sometimes meet somebody that you can go a long way with.
That's true. I met Mr. Bacon and I think some of his friends on there as well. I met a guy named Dylan. I'm not gonna say his name anymore because he changed his username so many times. I'm just gonna say his name is Dylan.
Yo, did I really make that? I'm looking back on this. I can't remember when that it was discovered that King Arthur was Leroy, but funny enough, I posted a video 4 years ago. It's been confirmed with the zombies. I don't know if you guys remember the poster that they released with the zombie storyline. But I don't know if that was before or after I posted that, but if it was before, I came with the theory of that Leroy was King Arthur, but I don't know if that was stated before or after, about 4 years ago.
I have no idea. I know it's like hard confirmed, like in Blackout, it's like hard confirmed, but it's also on the timeline. Because I think he's I think he's like the knight or something in the Dryzen Castle. Or something like that.
If I remember correctly. Yeah, so I can't remember if this was posted before or after with that. But yeah, no, it's really interesting looking back on that. Like that, I kind of put those connections. They were just theories at that point, so I mean, it could have been just coincidence at that point. But it's cool to see that something kind of came true out of that.
Yeah, I agree. Do you remember when like I think it's just before you had what was he called? What was your thing called? The recording thing?
Roxia?
Asterix? Roxia, yeah.
Yeah.
I just remember because I remember I would send you gameplay. And I think I would send you try to aim for like 10 minutes per clip, and my upload speed was like
Yeah.
0.68. So it would literally send you
Yeah.
gameplay, and it would take like 9 hours.
Yeah, I remember that. It'd be like, yo, you got that thing coming? He's like, yeah, got it coming. It'll just be a few hours. It's like, okay. Back when internet was like the slowest thing in the earth.
Yeah, my internet would crash too like twice a day at some points
Yeah,
because I was in two different houses when I first started sending you gameplay. I was in I'm not gonna say my address or anything like that, but Jason I think knows where I was. I was in a big house. And
4321 something street.
Yeah,
yeah. 123 Playground Street, and then I moved up to 123 Playground Street, where it was in the middle of like nowhere, and it would crash like every 2 minutes. Not 2 minutes, like it crashed twice like a day, and it was literally brutal.
Aw. Man, I was like Loki. I don't even remember what the video is about, but I'm looking at this thing. It's like, watch before you dislike. I'm like, what's the ultimate clickbait? I feel like everybody just clicked dislike for the memes.
Watch this video right now, or you'll wake up with the spider in your ear.
Bro, they'll be laying eggs in there. It's gonna be some classic Africa horse.
Interruption here, gamers. To the fellow listeners, check out the links in the description right now. Right now, click on them, subscribe. Click on subscribe on the channel of 2 Meets 1 or on our individual channels, and we also have a Twitter. So check it out. That is all. They continue.
Yeah, you guys should do that. Only the cool kids do it.
Yeah. I think we're pretty much close, if you can say, to wrapping up. I don't have many more topics to talk about. I don't know about you, Jason. Do you have anything?
Not really, no.
You got nothing, my dude, eh?
No.
Yeah, I think it's a little different because I think because me and Donnie known each other for like a while.
No, yeah, I don't think I've known Donnie for even a full year.
No, it's been over a year.
I think it's been a little longer.
Has it been over a year?
Yeah, it
might have been roughly around a year.
Well, also I haven't really spoken. I've only played with Donnie like 2 or 3 times, so
yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
I don't know him as well as you do.
I think I don't know if it was you that I met, but I remember. I think we started playing usually around Rocket League, maybe. Am I thinking of the right one?
That was
Jason. Yeah, Jason, you were there.
Yeah, I think you were there. I think we were doing like there was like 2v2s or something like that.
Yeah, it would be me, Donnie, I think Vanessa, and like Mason or something. Like it was the time we all tried to play Rocket League. I know you were there, Jason, in that era. I don't know if you ever played with Donnie, but you were definitely there when we played games during the Rocket League time. I know that.
Okay.
But I don't know.
So it was like last year.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to the next couple of years to come because it's something that I do want to branch out a little bit more from zombies and try other stuff. But I think I might still keep it mainly zombies. Try to stick around. Hell, I might do some more top 5s and just kind of re-update
zombie
stuff.
weapon comparison.
Oh yeah, I've got to bring that back. That's something I feel like I want to bring back. I'm just trying to figure out when to do it. But I remember the ZEEC. I don't know if you guys remember those. The zombie Easter egg comparisons.
Oh, those. No, I don't remember.
Yeah.
That.
Those are a little bit back before I started doing them. I refreshed the thing. I made a whole new list and tried doing them. And after there was obviously more Easter eggs that were found and everything. But yeah, no, I'm looking to bring back that series. I'm trying to get that all right and get all the facts on that one. So that might be a fun new addition to the channel once I get those rolling.
So you hear it here, folks.
Kino round 100? Kino round 100?
Honestly, it's looking to the point where I'm going to have to get on that one of these days.
Oh.
Okay.
Damn.
I feel like I've become a lot more of an experienced zombie player as compared to when I was 14, so I think that could be a really fun experience.
Shad's Viva last round 100.
Oh God! I remember doing. I can't remember if it was on Black Ops 3 last gen or next gen, but I do think, and it might still be on my channel, doing a starting room challenge on that.
I don't know. I think I did a starting room challenge
gen.
At some point on last gen. I think so. It got like 50 views when the game was somewhat fresh. I was pretty happy. And then I made the giant last gen starting room challenge video. I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing this. Yeah, no, I did not have energy or effort in it like I did at one point because the game just wasn't thriving. There was like on last gen, the only thing that's challenging in it is literally getting hit. Because if you get hit once, chances are you're already dead because you can't sprint. It's so
it was
broken.
pretty rough. It was a
Yeah.
pretty rough one. I don't know. Maybe I should prove the viewers wrong and try to go for round 100 and Tog, or not Tog.
Tog, Jesus.
Duran Fong.
Duran Fong or Call of the Dead?
Both maybe.
Oh yeah,
It's
first in the
actually, right now-
world.
Yeah, first in the world. Guy that hasn't even played, doesn't even like Call of the Dead, goes for round 100.
Yeah.
How many people have actually done round 100 on
Nobody.
Tog?
Oh,
No,
Tog.
no, there's a few
On Tog?
people.
Or Tog or Call.
Call of the
Call
Dead,
of the
the
Dead's
closest
impossible.
around. Call of the Dead, well, not technically impossible, but with the
No.
current strategy it is, they're still looking on ways to improve it. But the highest possible round that they've achieved so far is round 92.
Fuck.
Yeah, the problem is
it's
you run out of
rough.
ammo. That's pretty much the problem.
Ammo is a problem because I think he was saying it takes a full ray gun to kill a horde at that point. And at that
Scavengers
point,
to it.
the scavenger doesn't do much. The only instant kill gun at that point, funny enough, and it was such a meme gun back in the time, is the VR-11.
If you're 11, I don't even think it does. I mean, if you
What
get the
about the
Wonder
Waff?
Waff from George, it helps a lot. But that's only if you're able to kill him.
I think the VR-11 does insta-kill because it kills a zombie. Problem is that there's such a limited ammo that you can't use on every single zombie in the
You use
game
it for
in
like
a
12
round.
zombies, and that's about
Yeah,
it.
something like that. Exactly. But it does insta-kill them because it just turns them into a human and they just die. But
Yeah.
there's just not nearly enough ammo to be able to keep it.
So, you heard it here, folks. It sounds like Donnie is returning back to YouTube. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. At some point in time, it is scheduled.
Hopefully sooner than later.
Yes, I think it's about time we wrap this thing up because it's literally almost been 50 minutes, which is, I would say, it's pretty good.
It's pretty good, yeah.
So thank you so much for coming on, Donnie, being the first guest on this podcast.
Yes, thank you, Donnie.
Yeah, pleasure
Absolute
having
homie.
me.
Absolute homie. Links
Oh,
are
well.
down in the description. Follow us, subscribe to us. Comment down below about maybe some improvements or questions, or maybe if you want to be added to the podcast yourself as a guest, comment down below. Anything is appreciated. Leave a like. And later, skaters.
Peace.
You guys have an awesome day. Peace.